Hi everybody, my name is Robert Deem, and along with my partner John Walters, we represent the Madison County Video Veterans Project. It is a nonprofit organization, and it's designed to record the experiences from our U.S. servicemen during World War II, Korean War, the Gulf conflict, and any of those skirmishes. With us today is Mr. Fritz Aljets, or Fritz as he prefers to be called. How are you today, Mr. Aljets?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful.
And we're here today to record your experiences as a merchant marine during the latter part of World War II. Can you talk about your experiences a little bit when you went in at the early age of 17?
How many days you got? I've had a lot of experiences.
You were 17 years old and you had to go to your parents and get permission to join?
Correct.
And where did you serve your basic training?
Catalina Island.
Catalina Island, California.
Yeah, Catalina Island. Beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful place.
Much better than Fort Leonard Wood.
I would think so. I've never been in there, but...
And where was your first duty station after you got out of training?
Well, that's a long story, too. We got called that they finally shipped after, a month or how long we was out there taking training. They sent us back to the States, and then they called me and two other guys up, and they put us on Army transport. Back then, Army had some ships also. Well, we spent all one morning in a huge room. The room was as big as this house, or bigger, huge room. Each one had a secretary, and they interviewed us to make sure that we weren't spies, all that stuff, you know. Noontime come, they all went for dinner, and they didn't do a thing to us. They didn't say, kiss your ass. No, they just left. And we were standing, it was a hot day in California, standing out there talking. Well, they didn't tell us that. They told us a bunch of fibs. And you know, dumb 17-year-old kids, three of us, two of them was from Missouri, I didn't know them, but they was in. Anyhow, we went back in that office, picked all our papers up, and we walked out of that office and walked back where we come from, which wasn't too far. Mm-hmm. And we told that guy in there, because we'd been there for probably a week or two, waiting to get a ship. And he said, well, get out of here. You've been discharged from this place. You know, you're trespassing. We had an idea. He said, well, you could go down shipping office and see if you can get a ship out, because they'll be hunting for you. You know, you didn't come back after dinner. So we picked our seat bags up and got a taxi cab and told went down to the shipping office and just went up the window and told them exactly what we'd done. You know, I told him the same story I told you, and he said, well, sit down. So we sat down and one said, oh, come up here. So I went up to the window. He said, I got two ships. I need one guy on one ship and two guys on the other ship. One wants to go by himself. So we flipped coins. And me and the other guy happened to get together on the same ship. The other guy, I don't know whatever happened to him. So anyhow, but here's an address. Take this, get your cab, take this, give him this address, and go down, because this ship is getting ready to sail. So this taxi cab took us down this address, and they loaded us, man, they were happy to see us, because they were short of two men. One was a quartermaster, and the other was an AB. AB is an able-bodied seaman. Well, the other guy had some training. I never had 1 minute's training, because when I got to Catalina Island, I had an hour of knot tying. I always say every sailor's got to know how to tie a knot, because we got a lot of line to tie, you know. So anyhow, he called us up and needed a quartermaster and an AB. Well, the other guy had a little training, so he took the AB job, and I didn't say anything because what's the quartermaster do? I have no idea what he done because I never went to school. And well, who can steer a ship? I've never steered a ship, but I can steer a ship. Quartermaster.
So they made you a quartermaster right away?
Yeah, right. I didn't have 1 minute of schooling. I didn't know what a quartermaster's job was or what he done.
So that's when it all started?
That's when it all started.
So you get out of basic training and you get assigned to a ship?
Correct.
How big of a ship was it?
650 foot long.
How many tons would a ship like that be?
150,000 barrels.
150,000 barrels. And they classify the size of the ship by how much cargo it'll take. Is that right?
Right. So
Okay.
tonnage, I don't know.
So where was your first duty station that you sailed to on that ship? You remember?
Yeah, around the world.
Around the world.
Around the world.
Did you start at one country and then keep going?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to miss anything I done. I wouldn't want to miss anything I done.
Yeah. That's
I've
good.
I've been lost at sea. You ever hear?
You guys were lost at sea?
Lost at sea.
You were the quartermaster.
Oh, well, I just done what they told me to do.
Oh.
I didn't steer. I steered it, but they
There was
told
a
me.
navigator or
No, I
something.
wasn't a navigator. I was just a steer. I just had the wheel.
But who directed your course?
One of the mates of the
The
captain's
mates?
supposed to.
Captain?
We went around the world with a drunken captain.
A drunken
I
captain?
mean, a drunken captain. You never seen it. I was steering a ship one morning, and out to sea wasn't nothing around. And the captain, he always say he was nervous and or in church.
Mm-hmm.
He was walking back and forth in front of me, kept looking that way. Well, I looked that way, and all I see was water. That's all I've seen for the last maybe a couple of days. Water. And he finds it. Oh hell, give it hard left. Well, he's the captain, so I give it hard left. And by that night, we were running to Colombo, Ceylon, which is an island right at the tip of India.
Mm.
And there's just a river between India and this little island, not a very big river, that matter. But then we stayed there, I think 3 days or 4 days, I can't even make that right. Had liberty, we had all kind of fun. He went ashore, drunken captain. When they brought him back on the ship, SP brought him back, brought him back, just laid him down on the deck, just laid him down there. He was completely.
So we had an installation there, a military installation,
In
because there are SPs on shore,
yeah, oh, the SPs was all over.
all over.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it sounds like you went there haphazardly. You weren't expecting to go there.
Oh, no, we had no business going there.
How did you
whatsoever.
buy fuel and stuff like that when you got to a place like that?
Well, give us fuel. We went around out of fuel. We were carrying 150,000 barrels
Ah,
on a tanker, so we wouldn't run out. But you wouldn't use that oil. You'd stop and get all that.
so you'd fuel up with a tanker that was already in the ocean.
Sometimes you would,
Sometimes?
but most time we'd go to shore because, like I said, we was lost most of the time anyhow.
I was going to say, you sounded like you were lost a lot.
Yeah, we were. Anyhow, the SP brought him back on our ship and just laid him on the deck, and we left. And I was on the 12 to 4 watch, second mate, and he said, he stopped there to get some maps, and he forgot them. He forgot the maps.
No.
If you got hit, of course, when we got hit, we went up like we was carrying gasoline and oil. So you hit that hit and exploded.
Now, you say you did get hit?
No, if you got hit.
If you got hit.
If you got hit, no.
But
If
you
I-
saw some submarines, enemy submarines.
Yeah, I've been chased by them, and we run like hell.
What sea were you in when that happened?
Right south of Japan, right south, which I don't think that's that ain't the Persian Gulf there. That's the
It's not
Mediterranean.
the South China Sea, is it?
And I've been in all the seas.
Mm-hmm.
But you imagine,
Well, you were in so many places, it wouldn't be hard to forget about all of
yeah,
them.
yeah. All of them I remember, all these years,
Mm.
and I'm 91 years old.
You're doing something right.
So is my wife. She caught up with me the other day. She's 91 also.
Same age. Was she your girlfriend back in high school?
No, didn't even know her.
Later on.
In fact, you know how I met her? Really, I was in Alton one day. You're from Alton. You know where Snyder's is down there?
Oh, yeah?
I was walking across the street from Snyder's to Kresge. Kresge's
It was right across the street.
catty corner across the street. And I met a gal. She had a Merchant Marine emblem sewed on her coat. I stopped and talked. I said, said, where'd you get that? Well, her dad was a farmer, and he had a kid hired, and he joined the Merchant Marine, and he sent her one of the patches, so she sewed it on there. So basically, that's how I met her. I knew her before, just as
She was trying to meet new guys by putting that patch on,
could
wasn't
be.
she? And it worked.
And she heard the Merchant Marine was such a sweet guy. I'm teasing you.
We knew each other through, our church had an organization for young people. And all the different Lutheran churches, they would get together, the young people.
So I've seen her, but I didn't know her.
They probably still do that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And it's a great mixer.
So I've had such, and my dad was in the trucking business, baling business, feed grinding business, and all his guys that worked for him either went to war or went to the Western and work, could make more money, you know. So I was elected as a mechanic. I'd come home at nighttime. In fact, there was a implement shop just down the block from me in Dorsey, and he had twin boys. One got killed right away when he went in, and the other one finally went in, so there wasn't anybody for him to work on. And I was going to grade school, and the farmers would bring stuff to his shop that they'd broke, iron, wait for me to come home from grade school and weld it. So I started welding at pretty young age.
Yeah, I guess.
Go ahead.
Now these days, we're still at war with Japan. And your duty station could be anywhere in the South Pacific to the Persian Gulf to any place. Did you see any enemy submarines that tried to shoot at you?
Other than the Persian Gulf.
In the Persian Gulf?
Yeah.
And these were Japanese subs, you think?
Japanese sub. Yeah, because I figured it was Japanese subs.
Yeah.
They didn't.
You just saw the periscope.
They just saw the periscope. They didn't say, "Hey, we're Japs. We're gonna hit you."
And you were carrying, your cargo was fuel.
Fuel, yeah.
So you could have been a pretty big target for these Japanese subs.
Yeah.
You didn't see any torpedoes coming at you though?
No, never did see any torpedoes.
Ah, okay, so how many countries?
I've been dead if I've seen it just from fright.
How many countries did you think you got to as a merchant marine?
I've got a road down in the basement on flat. I think 50. I think it's 50.
50 or 60.
Yeah. 50.
And you spent time in each country?
Not too much time.
63.
63.
63, thank you. She knows better than you.
Well, that's one thing. Bad thing about a tanker. You wasn't ashore very much. Because you'd get ashore and you had 3 big lines, this big around down the middle, so it didn't take you long to unload. Now, if you was on a cargo ship, they had to do that by hand, so you get a lot of liberty.
Now, your cargo was fuel, as we talked about. Where were you taking the fuel to?
Whoever needed it. This is during the war.
This is during the war, so you would fuel other boats?
Other ships or airplanes.
Or airplanes.
Because we carried high-octane gasoline in the front of the ship and ship's fuel in the back of the ship.
So you were sitting on a floating time bomb.
You're right. If you got hit, you went sky high.
Any skirmishes on boat? Any fires or things that...
No.
So that was pretty lucky.
Yeah.
That was pretty lucky.
And, I was in a deck department, but I would spend a lot of time in the engine department because the deck department had salt water out there and them ships rust, so you got air hammers and chip all that rust. Well, them guys don't like to work, so they lean on them air hammers and break
Break the tool.
Yeah, break the tool.
So they wouldn't have to work?
Yeah, so I didn't have to work. So I'd, fix it. So I'd go down to the engine room, in their engine department, whatever they needed to get it fixed.
Besides steering the ship, you were a good mechanic.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of jobs.
I had a lot of jobs, yeah.
Well, when you stayed at some of these countries, when you visited them, what was your favorite country?
Well, during the war, I don't think it was a favorite country because you just see all you wasn't in that country that long.
You weren't in there that long,
No.
so you didn't get sightsee.
No, we've done a lot of traveling since that. I took her on most of them places I've been to
Mm-hmm.
traveling, and I still think Switzerland would be the. If I was going to pick one country, I think Switzerland would be the. I'd say Switzerland is the only country I know you get your tonsil sunburned.
Your tonsil sunburn.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful mountains in Switzerland.
Now, speaking of mountains, I understand you did see one picturesque mountain. What was that?
Mount Sinai.
Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
Did you get to go on the mountain?
No.
So you just saw it from the boat.
Just saw it from the ship.
So-
Not a boat, ship.
Your ship, of course. Can you think of one of your most memorable moments as a merchant marine? Was it a card game? Was it a ceremony? You guys were probably a closely knit group on that ship.
Yeah, because there's only 54 of us.
54 running the whole ship.
Yeah.
And your main job was, as a quartermaster, was to
Just steer.
steer the ship.
And then, but you'd work a lot of overtime. Like if your ship, if you're watched from 4 o'clock, from 4 to 8, every time 4 o'clock come on, you go to work.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 4 in the afternoon, or if it's 4 in the morning, you go to work and you work for 4 hours, or whatever shift, you know. But then, since we didn't have many men on the ship, they'd work you overtime, and you'd have to be paying all the time because them
Mhm.
ships. And I've had a lot of experiences there. The same drunk captain. He was exactly where it was anymore, but and everything's steam. You know, the motor that runs that anchor up, which you only had 2 anchors on, and they weigh. I bet they weigh 5 tons.
Yeah.
Oh, they're huge, you know.
Mhm.
And the lengths are at least 10 inches in diameter and at least 1.25 inches around it. Big,
Mhm.
well, the whole big ship, they had big. And in the front of the ship, there was a steam. Each one had a steam part, and the chains would come up and pull the anchors up, and then the chain would go down the chain locker. And that's where they'd store them.
Mhm.
I don't know if you ever heard of it, when they'd punish people, they'd throw them in a chain locker.
Oh, that's where they came from.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
and it's not a good, because in case they have to drop the anchor and you're in there, you come out in little pieces.
So that was a portable brig.
Yeah, portable brick. I never had such any time in it. But anyhow, I was securing the lifeboats. Everything got tied down till you get in the water. Everything ain't tied down, you lose it. So they all got things to tie them down with so they can't get rid. I got that job done because I had a job to do with everything. So then I went up to the bow where they was pulling that anchor in, and the winch wouldn't work. The steam wasn't rolling. See, I'm not a steam man, so I couldn't work on it 'cause I didn't know about the steam. Went up front, and they had a pile of that chain on the deck. When they pull the anchor up tight against the ship, they had regular clamps that would grab this chain and turn back and pull the anchor tight against the ship. Because if you get in the sleeves, see, this thing would knock holes in the ship,
Yeah.
in the water, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I got up there and they had a whole pile of that chain. They were doing it by a winch and a rope, a line.
Oh, that took a long time, I'll
Yeah.
bet.
Well, and they had a pile of that on there. Well, what if that rope had broke?
Yeah.
So I walked up and I seen that, and I don't know part of this. I walked off. I left. I wasn't going to see people getting massacred, so I just left. I shouldn't have done that, but you know, I had mind moments back then too.
I understand you have an experience when you were in the Sea of Japan. Can you tell us about that? Because the war was close to being over, and the United States was ready to drop the atomic bomb.
Yeah, well, they dropped it while we was over there.
They dropped it while you were over
Like I
there.
say, if I had been awake, I would have seen it. I was that close to it, but I wasn't awake. They dropped it about 10 o'clock at night.
Nobody woke you up for that?
Nobody woke me up.
You could sure see it from where you were,
Oh yeah. Where we was parked.
where you were parked, yeah.
Yeah, we would have seen it.
Oh, God.
So were you aware that that was going to
Oh,
happen?
no,
Or it was
no.
completely secret?
It was
at that
completely
point?
secret, yeah. They, even after they dropped it, we thought, well, that's another rumor, you know. That's a lie. They can't have done that bomb that big. That was level.
Did you find out later what boat delivered that bomb to wherever they picked it up?
No. Back when I was 17 years old, I didn't.
Yeah, at 17. So, the country of Japan was bombed, and you had a two-year duty, and it's 1947 now, and you get out of the Merchant Marines. Tell us about how you got out and where you got out from, and did you start working once you got home?
My dad had a business, so I didn't have no problem with the job. You know, I just stepped back in and done all the mechanical work.
Mm-hmm.
And farmers would bring stuff to me at nighttime for me to weld. My dad bought me a brand new welder, Hobart welder from Troy, Ohio, when I was just a young kid, but he needed so much welding done. Back then it was a portable welder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd go around all around the country.
Did you teach yourself how to weld?
No, I went to night school. I went to night school, yeah.
And that's, when you got out of the service, you went to night school to learn how to weld.
I probably even before I went to service, I probably knew how to weld.
Mm-hmm. And what town did you grow up in?
It was town Dorsey.
Dorsey.
Town of about 150 people.
I was going to say, 150, 200 people is about as big as it ever got.
And at one time I employed 15 people
Wow.
in Dorsey. 15 people. Now that's,
Doing welding,
well, no. Doing everything.
everything.
You name it, we done it. Body work, farm machinery.
And it's a farming community.
Yeah, it's a farming community.
If it was done on your car, they did it.
Yeah, if it's on your car, we done it. We didn't send it. I had one guy, all he done is overhaul transmissions.
Mm-hmm.
I had another guy, all he done is overhaul the engines.
Mm-hmm.
Because the engines didn't last very long back then. And I had a reputation that wouldn't quit, because they'd buy a brand new car, and at 30,000 miles, they'd have to have it overhauled, usually rebored, put in oversized pistons, and then it'd be wore out. I'd overhaul it, and I could make it last twice as long. I'm good. I wasn't good. The metal got hard. You know, they was making them so fast, the metal wasn't so soft.
Mm-hmm.
But after a couple of years, the heat and the cool and the heat and the cool, it hardened itself. So I had a better block. I didn't know it at the time, I couldn't figure that out either.
So for 30, 40 years after you got out of the Merchant Marines, you had a great job, you met your wife, and you built this lovely house out here in Holiday Shores,
Built the garage in Dorsey
in the garage in Dorsey.
and paid hardly no labor. Because back then we done a lot of playing too, had a lot of buddies.
A little bartering.
Yeah, well, buddies, they just come over and help me, you know.
Ah.
Had 2 concrete mixers, put,
Mm-hmm.
hand mixing concrete. And that was after the war. You could not buy cement. You couldn't steal it. You couldn't, because everybody came home was trying to build, you know. All the army guy. And it's impossible to buy it. Of course, I went to East St. Louis all the time, or St. Louis, with the truck, my dad's truck. In fact, I drive to St. Louis. One day I drove to St. Louis and went through Edwardsville, stopped and took my driver's license. I didn't even have a driver's license, too young.
We might talk you into getting into your uniform for the next picture.
Okay.
You guys had a full, wonderful life.
Oh, we did. There ain't nobody had a better life than we had, I'll tell you. Nobody.